Let me just join Rafael in his thanks and thank Rafael Zaguri Orly for having us and Tamar Erez for organizing all of this, and of course Jonathan Meese and Doris Mampe and Brigitte Meese and Jan Bauer, and of course the Tel Aviv Museum, Sigalit Landau, and Ginton, and Doron Sabag. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much for invitation. Super, super, super. I'm very happy and I'm very metabolistically comfortable and feeling very good today. And I just want to later read some manifests and then we have the talk and I will answer every question. And I was today in my hotel room 6 hours walking from one side to the other, thinking about what to do today. And I think I just tell you a brief history how art entered my life and what art did with me till now. And then I can go on. So I was born one day and I didn't choose to be born. I was just born into this world. I didn't elect my birth. I didn't want it. I said not no, but I also said not yes. I just was thrown into this world. Then I don't have so much remembrance. I don't remember so much time till 22. Then suddenly I was drawing and painting. And I thought, wow, this is art, or this is connected to art. People told me. I always believe in authorities. So the authority told me, yes, you are doing art. Then I said, wow, great, what should I do? You should go to art school. Then I went to art school. I was taken immediately, and then I played in the art school. And I always played and played and played. And the person you see in this video, that's not me. Yeah, no, this is just an actor. It's a mask of something, but that's definitely not me, because it cannot be me. It cannot be me what is art. Art is never you. Art is itself. Yeah? And then I played and played and played, and suddenly I noticed that I am not playing, but art is playing with me. I am the toy of art. I am the decoration of art. Art is the master. Art is the chief. Art is the leader. Art is the objective leadership of my existence. Art is not God, but every God is art. I suddenly noticed, wow, art is total chief. I don't have to kneel down. I don't have to pray. Art lets me playing. Art wants me to play. And art says no to not playing. So I always played and played and played. And suddenly I noticed I didn't like people so much anymore that were not playing. And I always thought, why are my comrades, my fellow students, why are they not playing anymore? And why are they starting to be religious? Why are they starting to vote? Why are they suddenly interested in political parties? Why are they suddenly esoteric? Or why are they suddenly into the occult system? Or why are they mythological? Or why do they suddenly are against art? And I said, what is against art? What is it? Okay, art is the total master. And doesn't want not art to exist. So what is not art? And I always thought, what is this combining thing between people who are religious, who pray to God? What is the combination towards the people who vote? What is the thing with left wing, right wing? What is the thing with the esoteric system? What is with spiritual people? I don't really like them. I mean, personally I liked them, but I didn't like the concept of what they were doing. And then suddenly a little hate came up. I was hating this. And then I tried to find a word for this hate. And I thought, what is the combination? What is the glue? And then the word ideology came. It was coming maybe 8 years ago. This word, it was after art school. Suddenly I noticed the only thing that is not art is ideology. And then I thought about the babies. I thought about the animals. I thought about nature. I thought about children. I thought about objects. And I thought, wow, why are they not ideological? Why is in a baby no ideology? Why is in an object no ideology? Why does the ideology come? What is this ideology? What is it doing with you? When does it come? And then you notice it comes suddenly when you are turning from a child to an adult. Suddenly there's room for ideology. And then there, I notice that the ideology knocks on your door every day, every second. The ideology comes in certain names. This God, that God, this political leader, that political leader, that political party, this political party, this occult system, this mythological system. And it knocks and knocks and knocks on your door every second of your life. It knocked on my door here in Tel Aviv hotel room, yeah, and it was knocking and knocking. And I am a friendly person. I always think, oh wow, a friend is coming, or oh wow, art is coming. But then I open the door and I see ideology, and I always say no. I always close the door. It knocks, I open the door, ideology is there. I say no, thank you, bye bye, au revoir. Sometimes I say I hate you, go away. Ideology, go away. You have to go away. You have to leave me alone. But this concept of always opening the door, closing it, open, door, closing, open, closing. This is a devil circle. I'm in a trap. I start to be so old. I start to be so totally tired of always closing, opening, closing, opening. I'm a charming person. That's why I cannot resist opening. But now I have the solution. I know what to do. I say, come in, ideology. And this is what I noticed here. In Tel Aviv, in the hotel room, I have to say, come in, ideology, you are welcome. Sit at my table, eat my bread, eat my wine, drink my wine, eat whatever. When you want to sleep, sleep. Or when you want to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. But you have to know one thing. In fact, my best friend is also here. And it's my absolute evolutionary, total metabolistic friend. And it's called art. And at that moment, when I say the word art, this ideology falls apart and it will leave immediately the room. It will go into the past, it will go into books, it will go into history books, it will go into films, it will go into opera. I will not destroy it. Art is not destroying ideology, but it puts it where it belongs to. It belongs to art, into opera, into films. That's Bayreuth, that's Richard Wagner. Art won the game. And that's the same with me dealing with ideology now. I say to every ideology, come in, sit at my table. Then I tell art to come and to join us. Then the ideology goes away, then I'm free. Because this ideology will never knock on my door again. Never. And this can be done by nations. This can be done by groups and families. You can say no to ideology. You can welcome them in and say, hey, we have a talk. But then, in the end, you say, please, my best friend art is here. The ideology falls apart because it has no chance against art. Ideology is always weaker than art, and then it will go away. And the knocking on my head will stop. This ideology is also knocking on this, but here it cannot enter, because an object is never good or bad. It cannot follow ideological rules. A baby is never ideological. Ideology never reaches the brain or the body of a baby. A baby just doesn't understand the question. It says no and yes at the same time. It's neutral. And that's the same with children. But at a certain age, the ideology doctors come and want to implantate ideology in the brain or the body functions. And there we have to say no. But not by hating, but by giving this ideology a chance to disappear through art. And this is what I will do. I will now be more active, because I was a little passive. You know, I am not afraid of ideology. It will never reach me. But what do I gain that it doesn't reach me? I am immune. You know, I am not reachable by ideology. But this I know now for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years. I am not reachable. Nobody can put ideology into me. It's impossible, but I am me. What does it mean that I now say 20 more years, no, 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 thank you. This is so boring. Yeah, so I have to leave this to art, and I say art is the leader, art is the objective leadership, and it will take over, and it will do when I do my duty. I have to take all responsibility. I have to open the door. That is very important. I have to be courageous enough to let the ideology in. And then things can happen. But we are not killing ideology. We put it where it belongs to art. Yeah, that's the story. I mean, yeah, that happened here in Tel Aviv in the hotel room. And I'm very happy about it. Because now the strength can come back. I was so tired. Yeah, I'm tired by the art scene.
Jonathan, you know it's the Holy Land.
Yes, but art is not holy. That is the problem. Art is not holy. Yeah. Art is something you can stand up to art. You don't have to kneel down. The art gives you the future, but it doesn't mean it personally. It's just there. It's evolution. You hand over yourself to evolution. You play.
So you refer to it as a dictatorship of art. Why dictatorship?
Human dictators are always shitty. Yeah, that's clear. Also religious dictators are shitty. Yeah, and not interesting. But objective dictatorship is super. My life is based on dictatorship. The sun that is shining, it's not shining for me personally, but it's a dictator. I need the sunshine to live. I need to sleep. Sleep is a positive, objective dictator. It's not democratic. Yeah, if I don't drink, if this glass of water is not democratic to me, I have to drink it, otherwise I die in the end. Breathing is a basic behavior towards art. Breathing is art. Digesting is art. Sleeping is art. Eating, drinking, sweating, everything that the body function produces is art. I don't have to have a talent for art, because this is not describable. This is not definable. I just have to play and do my duty.
What is your duty?
My duty is to play, 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 and name the enemy. The enemy is ideology, but don't be too cruel. Yeah, I don't have to kill my enemy. I just have to send the enemy there where it belongs to. This is not cruel. This is fair. This is a cool duel, and art will win. This is for sure. And I have to hand over my power to art, because art is the leader, art is the chief, art is the chef. I do what art tells me to do. I'm a servant of art, finished. And I love it. I love the total beauty of art. I love the total leadership of art. Art is always total. You don't have something that is only 19% art and 81% design. You don't have something that is 12.9% art. Something is art totally or not. It's art or not art. At the moment we see a lot that is not art. We see a lot that pretends to be art. Also our behavior is often not very nice towards art, because we don't trust art anymore, especially artists. My friends in Hamburg and my friends in Berlin, they don't trust art anymore. They start to be older and suddenly they start to trust something else. And I think always, wow, crazy. Art is so super. Why don't you trust art? Art is the nicest leader. Art is super. And art is also not anarchy. Art is total order. Yeah? When we are in a jungle, we think that's anarchy. No, it is not. We live now in anarchy. Democracy is anarchy. Democracy is also an ideology, so it has to go away. And it's, strangely enough, the most powerful ideology at the moment on this planet. And you have to be against this. You have to be against every ideology. There is not one ideology better than the other. All ideologies are wrong.
So I'm curious because you talk about the dictatorship of art and about leadership and winning and losing and totalism. And also you talk about a sort of Buddha-like state, of passive state. You mentioned you're becoming active now, but there's a Buddha-like state that, you know, you're just a servant and you're not active. You're a servant of art, and art dictates what you do and what you think and how you are. How can you explain that?
You can be responsible by handing over all the problems to art. This is what I was missing. I was still thinking I am important, that it is important that I am not ideological. But this is okay, this is nice, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, I can die now and on my grave they will write, he was not ideological. I cannot buy something from that. It doesn't suit me anymore. It's not interesting for me. You know, this I had all the time. I have the chance to be the greatest artist in the world, but is this a goal? It is not interesting. It is interesting to hand over your problems to art and it will solve it. Yeah? Nowadays politicians tell me or us that they will solve all problems. Some people think God will solve all problems. Other people think occult systems will solve all problems. Other people think the esoteric will solve all problems. No, that's all past, that's all gone, that's all in museum. That's all done, that's practiced thousands of years ago, and thousands, it will be practiced more and more, but it will come to no solution. Yeah. And so we have to hand over the power to something neutral that doesn't mean me. I'm not so important. The sun is not a god. I don't have to kneel down. I just have to say, wow, super, the sun is shining. It gives me light. Thank you. I can say thank you, but not more. Nothing, anything more is too much of honor.
So art in itself is neutral?
Art in itself is totally neutral. Yeah? And we are not neutral enough. Yeah. When I was playing in the beginning in the art school, I was just playing. I was not thinking about things. Then suddenly I thought, wow, why is art suddenly vanishing? I was so surprised. Because the castle of art is so good. It just have to grow.
So how did this all, you studied a little bit in Hamburg, in the academy in Hamburg, right? Yes. And you started, I mean, your installation started there, basically. Before that you did a little bit painting and sculpture? Or?
I started totally, I mean, in classical way, I started with drawings and paintings. And then in art school, I started to collect so many things that I love to show my stuff, that I practically had to do installations. I didn't know what an installation is. I just did it instinctively. I was never creative. To be creative is not radical enough. It's not fast enough. You have to be instinctive. You have to work through instinct, like animals. They are not creative. Then they would be eaten up immediately. Because you don't have to think. You should just do instinctively what is needed. Then you are a servant of art. If you think too much, if you come with left or right-wing ideas, you are finished. You have no chance in art.
I was in a performance with you at, well, let's talk a little bit about painting before we go into performance. Can you tell a little bit about your process in painting? How does it work? Do you work on one canvas at a time, or is it something more dynamic?
I'm like dancing. I'm like a bee or an ant. I'm just doing everything at the same time. Yeah, if you would film me, you would see these movements everywhere, because there it's a little color needed. There you have to write a sentence. There you have to sing a song. There you have to do the sculpture. There you have to sleep. There you have to drink. It's like acting instinctively on the moment, on whatever is happening. No intellectualism. That comes later. Yeah? Just do it. Like a child. The child is also not thinking. It's licking the ice cream, then it pretends to be Napoleon, and the other time he's just shitting, and then sleeping, and then comes mama, and then you eat the bread. Yeah, and that's life. There's nothing more to say. Yeah, and everything else is just invention, you know? The political system, an animal society doesn't need politicians. Why? It still functions very beautifully. Millions of ants can live in the same place. Yeah, why? Because they don't have politicians. Yeah, because they have no leaders, no voted leaders. They maybe have a leader, but that develops through something else than voting. It comes instinctively. That's more beautiful, because it's more natural. I would never vote in my life for anything. I think it's very boring. It's a waste of time. Because every political party is the same. Yeah? And I'm not left-wing, I'm not right-wing, I'm not middle, I'm not Protestant, I'm not Catholic, I'm not even atheist. I'm nothing. I have nothing to offer on this scale. Nothing.
Is art a religion?
Art is no religion, no, because it's a game. If religion is a game, then it's art. All religions are art, yeah? But art is no religion. Art is no God. You don't have to kneel down or build up a personal relationship to it. There is nothing that it tells you except metabolism. It tells you to breathe, but that's not personal. It cannot tell you something personal. We all think we are meant. We always think we are the one. We are so important. No, art is no individualism. It just treats everybody the same. It's not international. It doesn't mean that. Yeah? It's not national and it's not international. It's totally between that, or in front of it, or behind. It has no connections to what we think, how nations should be created. It's a very natural way how something is developing. You just have to allow it to be your leader. That's all. Yeah? Nature allows art to be its leader. A baby allows art to be its leader. It says nothing against it. It says nothing against metabolism. It says nothing against evolution. Then suddenly the child comes. Yeah. And then these doctors, these ideological people come. Often the parents are the ideological doctors, which is very strange, because normally parents are there to protect you and say, come on, play, play. We take care, we don't influence you. You just do what metabolism is doing with you. But strangely enough, I was lucky. My mother never influenced me politically or religiously or in terms of esoteric. My mother is totally practical. She's so practical, and that's what I start to be now too. I want to be only practical.
Is art reality?
Art is, for animals, total reality. For babies, it's total reality. For children, it's total reality. And for objects, but not for adult consciousness that is poisoned by ideology. For them, it's not reality at the moment. For these adult consciously poisoned and polluted brains, for them, art is very far away. But this is not so much a problem, because you can say no to ideology. You can, in German you say, entideologisiere dich. You put the ideology away. When you sleep, for example, no ideology reaches you. Even an ideological person, when he sleeps, is not ideological. This is super. So I wish that all ideological people fall into 100-year sleep and that they just don't wake up until they are not ideological anymore. Yeah? These are my wishes, you know. I wish so much that all nations condemn, deny, and say no to ideology. And then everything is solved. Everything. Poverty is solved. Racial questions are solved. Yeah? There is no German elephant or German insect existing. That's a categorization of human beings. An animal would never say it's German or American or Japanese. Yeah? An animal would never say it believes in the Vatican. And there we can learn so much. We learn so much from animals. We learn how to fly. We learn how to build cars or build buildings by animals. We watch them, we look at them, but we are not able to see their societies. That we say no. They are empty of ideology. In an animal society, there is no ideology. That is so super.
I have a question though. I mean, it seems very clear for you, but why is it so, I mean, I found you trying to explain it very hard all the time. Why, if it's so simple?
I explain it also to myself, of course. I mean, I'm here to challenge myself, and I have to be more and more precise for the future. This is my duty. And I always wonder why people are ideological. I always think when I go to bed, why are they ideological? Why? We are all born into this world. We didn't vote our birth. I cannot vote my breathing. I cannot vote my sleeping. Yeah? If I vote my sleeping, I will have sleeping problems. Voting is a problem. This is a problem. It's a problem to elect somebody as your leader. This is not possible in the year 2012, 2013.
What do you suggest then?
Play and say no thank you. And say no thank you and resist. Say no, I'm not electing. Or at least when you are electing, say that you are wrong and that you are doing something not very nice. It's also okay not to be so nice all the time, but to say that this is the solution or that this is super, to make the world into left-wing zones or right-wing zones, to divide the world into Catholicism, Hinduism, Judaism, Muslimism. This is just really, this is not the future. It is not the future. It is so from yesterday. It's so from yesterday to develop a new political party. We have this problem in Germany. There are the new political parties and they are also rubbish because political parties are always rubbish. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy. Why don't you put energy in playing, in doing art? It's so easy. This painting to paint was so easy to do this sculpture. It was no problem at all. It was so easy. I have no problems in doing art. Never had any problem because I'm not a reality fanatist. I have a problem to buy a milk because I have a problem because I'm afraid that I go and buy the milk and there's a person that is ideological.
Jonathan.
Because often I see it.
Can you talk a little bit about the characters in your work?
These are all monsters. This is a monster of the future. This is an animal of the future. This is a soldier of the future. I am a soldier of art. I'm not a soldier of reality, and I'm not a soldier of ideology. I'm not a soldier of political systems, and I'm not a religious soldier. I'm a soldier of art. This is my companion. This is my friend. With this guy I'm playing. I love this guy. He's so precise. He's so nice. He's not ideological. Also, these two figures. Yeah, they play victim. They play bad, but they are not bad. They are sculptures. Yeah, they are so sweet. Yeah, I want to hug them all the time, and they want to hug with me. This is a room that has no ideology. There's my mother. She is without my ideology in this room, playing with me. That's done on a photo. This I'm playing on a sculpture. Maybe Napoleon, maybe I'm playing Hitler. I don't know. I don't care. You know, it's not important for me. I'm not ideological. Yeah, that's Warhol, one of the biggest artists in the world. He had always a mask. He was always playing Warhol. We never know and never will know his individuality because it's so shitty unimportant. Yeah? This guy is not an individual. This is not Jonathan Meese. This is so good that this is not Jonathan Meese. This is not Jonathan Meese. This painting is not Jonathan Meese. In a Picasso painting, no Picasso is in the painting. Not his individuality, not his ghost, not his soul. You don't have bad objects. In no object there is a soul. We are lucky. Triumph of art, not triumph of reality. Reality will be eaten up by art. Art will expand. It will grow and push all away the bad reality. This is a manifest. I'm doing Bayreuth now. I'm doing the Parsifal. I'm very happy. And I know that art will win. And art will put this building, this Festspielhaus, this building where this Bayreuth is happening, where Parsifal is happening, and it will grow and grow and grow and grow. And whole Germany will be Bayreuth. Whole Europe will be Bayreuth. Whole world will be Bayreuth. The whole universe will be Bayreuth. The whole universe will be an opera stage.
You know,
this is what I'm working for.
If it wasn't funny, I would be scared.
No, you don't have to be scared. There is nothing scary in art. It will be super.
What will happen? Can you? I mean, I know these characters are part of Erzland. What's Erzland?
Erzland. That is one possible name of the future land that is not divided into nations anymore. That's the end point somehow. The new language will be art. Every other language will disappear. There will be one land in which we all will live, and it will be called art. Maybe it will be called Erzland, but it can also be called Coca-Cola. It can be called whatever. But it will be one place, one room where everything will happen. And hopefully this room will be an opera. Yeah? No reality.
So everyone is going to sing all the time?
No, everybody plays ideology. Of course, you also have to go to toilet in an opera. You also are allowed to cry. You can have real feelings. But everything that is shitty will be played away. That is meant by opera. You play wars. If you can do real wars, you can also play them. They can even be more brutal when you play them. They can be so brutal you cannot imagine, but they are not reality. This is what we can do. We can make films where the whole world is exploding, where everybody dies, where everything is destroyed. We can do films where the biggest monsters, the biggest racists appear. We can have the worst Adolf Hitlers. We can have Stalins, everything in films. It will not do any harm. They can be on opera stage. This is the only way to survive, in fact.
Do you think art is escapism?
Art is no escapism, because I am not a dropout. I'm not a guy who goes to Tibet into a monk cell. I'm not going into a convent, or I'm not leaving my headquarters in Berlin. I will never do that. I'm not an Aussteiger, you say in German. I'm not somebody who goes to Mallorca and, or to I don't know, to an island to have a good life. I've earned enough money. I could do that immediately, but I'm not interested in that. I want to be a soldier of art in the center. And no escapism. That is not the answer. Many philosophers are they are escaping reality. I'm not escaping reality. I'm challenging it. I say no to it. Not to that reality that exists nowadays. I'm not satisfied with what is happening in Germany. I'm not satisfied with what is happening in the world. And I have the right not to be satisfied. And I have to be, I have the right to be more radical, and I have the right to wish for radical times. We live in so shallow times. This is crazy. This makes me crazy.
How does, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, Do you have followers? Do you think people will join your state of mind?
I have no followers at all, because this, what I say, doesn't sound very attractive. That's why I'm not a guru, because I don't have any followers. Nobody comes to me and says, I want to follow this. Nobody, maybe 2 or 3 people, but most of them did it because it was a mistake. They thought I'm a politician. They thought this is another ideology, but it's wrong. So there are no followers needed in this. What I do is so hermetic. You cannot follow me, and you should also not follow me. You should follow your metabolism, your evolution. You should follow what your evolution tells you to do. That's why I can also not help other artists. I will always say, super what you do, even though I maybe don't think so. I cannot tell you that what you are doing is wrong. That's too personal for me. That's why I have to do these talks. Yeah, and I don't really want to have an opinion towards that. I just wish everybody good luck. But more I cannot do. I'm not the judge. Yeah, maybe art is a judge, but I don't really think so. I think it's just the place where we are all going to through evolution, not to consciousness. If we would be humble in our consciousness and not create always the new political personal leader, then everything would be super. Then the world of art, or the nation, the total nation of art that is no real nation, will come up. Before us, before we entered this planet was peacefully doing art all the time. It was not disturbed. We disturb animals by our ideologies. This we have to know. We are guilty, in fact, because we pull our children into ideological horror all the time by voting, by accepting the political system, by saying that I am left or right wing. This is not so nice. And yeah.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but can you define what ideology is?
Ideology is the sum of not necessary things. Ideology is what is not really necessary. What they say is necessary, but not really. Yeah? Evolution is necessary. We cannot avoid it. It's impossible. But to join a political party, you can avoid. No baby will ever ask or scream for a political party. It will scream for food, for sleep, and for shitting. And then when we grow older, a little bit more comes, because then we learn to read and we learn to play other things. But why not play away the ideology?
Can you talk a little bit about your influences, like Nietzsche and other figures?
I am very much influenced by graphically precise people and radicalism. Everything that was radical in the past is very important for me. Because with that I can play. I can play with Hitler because he's so easy to paint. You have a square and that's all. He's the most easy guy to paint. I have no moral interest in this person. I have no political interest in this person. It's a graphic figure, he's precise, and I can paint him. It's the same with Nietzsche. He looked very precise. What he said was very precise. I don't examine the moral aspect of it. I'm not capable of that. I look at Richard Wagner, I see the physiognomy, I see the guy, I see that art won the game, and whatever he was thinking is not interesting for me and not for art, because art is the winner, and art is no ideology. Yeah? Whether Richard Wagner was ideological or not is a side effect. It has no meaning for art, because art won the game.
So you're saying
ideology is dead.
So you're saying basically, for an example, Wagner, so he was obviously a Nazi, right? He supported the Nazis and he was a big influence there. So you separate the person from the art. This is a discussion that is always, you know, on my mind. Can you separate the person from the art?
Definitely. You have to, because an object can never be bad or good. Music is never bad or good. It's neutral. Whoever produced it, water, an animal, a human being, the music is not interested. This sculpture is not interested that I created it. It gives a shit that I was the producer of it. This sculpture is not good, not bad. This sculpture is not good, not bad. It has no moral problems.
Yeah.
It is not racist, it doesn't even know races. It doesn't know anything about what we are saying here. Yeah, and the music of Richard Wagner has nothing to do with Richard Wagner. Nothing, nothing, nothing. You can take the music, you can bring it, you can press it out, you can take it. There is nothing of Richard Wagner in this music.
But
It's an object. I am not a voodoo priest. There are voodoo people who think that you have holy objects. But I'm out of that. It's impossible for me to follow. A chair can never be bad. A glass of wine can never be bad. Music can never be bad. Even if the text in a musical is bad, it's not bad. No bad books exist. This is a myth. It's written stuff on a paper that can never be bad. Never.
But history does affect the way you think, right? Or where you grew up. You grew up in Germany, and born in Tokyo, but grew up in Germany. I grew up in Israel. This has an effect on the art we do, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm lucky to have my mother and I'm lucky to have my friends. And I went through a good art school, which was super to me. I mean, I didn't go into an ideological horror. I am happy about that. But I think we all slide into ideological horror again. I think the world is as ideological as never before. The whole world. I think we are in a very, very, very big devil circle. Very big. And the ideology grows and grows and grows. And the only solution towards that is art.
Are you angry about that? Are you angry about that?
I'm very angry about that because I want to live in radical times, and radical times is art. And I want to be allowed to live a radical life. And nobody allows me to live a radical life. Ideology wants to put you down. They want to make you anarchistic. Yeah? I love total order. Yeah? And the total order of art is super. Art is not a jungle. Art is not something unclear. Art has a total structure. Yeah? We always, that is this is something I really don't like. All my artist friends, they love anarchy. But what does it mean, anarchy? Anarchy means the weak person is killed. Yeah? That's the only thing that anarchy means. And I'm against that. I'm against anarchism. Totally. I think it's really a hybris of intellectualism. It is so bad. Nothing in this world is anarchistic except this shitty adult consciousness. And this is not utopia, and not a good utopia, to think everything should be anarchistic. Anarchistic would be, I take a gun and shoot you all. And this is so cynical.
But you're also against democracy.
I'm totally against democracy because that is the major ideology at this time. No, the total ideology nowadays, it's not National Socialism, it's not communism, it's another thing. It is democracy. And I think that also all the ideologies of the past were in fact democratic. Yeah? In Germany, in the Führer time, when Adolf Hitler was in power, the whole nation was identifying itself in Adolf Hitler. Then you have monarchy, where the whole nation is identifying itself with the king. Then you have religious states, where all the people in the nation identify themselves with God or religious leaders. Democracy means for me, men have power. And man should never have ideological power. That means ideology. Mankind, human beings cannot deal with ideological power. They should never be forced to have ideological power. You should never give ideological power to people. That is democracy. That we think that we can govern each other. I think this is so terribly wrong direction. There are good governors. The air that I breathe is a super dictator, a super governor, a super wonderful leader. The sleep, when I'm tired, I go to bed, the sleep comes, and I think, wow, thank you, sleep. You give me so much peace. Then I wake up, the morning comes. The morning is a dictator, but it's not a human being. I think democracy is for me, man govern man. And I think this is wrong. This is just a wrong concept. And all these ideologies we had in the past, they are based on this idea that we should vote or put a human or a god into power and kneel down. That is the concept of all ideologies. And I say peacefully, happily, no, thank you. I believe, no, I don't believe. I never believed in anything. I'm not a believer. This is not my thing. I know that I can trust evolution.
What's evolution?
Evolution is the sum of evolution is art. Art created all evolution. Art gives the laws of evolution to everything. And we can, when we are humble enough, take these laws and say yes to evolution and follow it.
Is humankind in a state of evolution? Is the human evolving?
The human at the moment is not evolving because it puts too much importance on consciousness. The consciousness is the leader at the moment, not the body function, not the aspect that we are human beings. This should be in power, but not as a personal way of suppressing and putting others down. The real laws of nature have nothing to do with us personally. The laws of nature, they cover us all. Yeah, I can read in the manifest. Okay, but it will be the same because I have to talk in circles. There is no other way. You have to decide. What? This is what you say. But is a child ideological? I'm describing that obviously about the dilemma. Yeah? But to play is not ideological. And an animal is not ideological. Yeah? And you choose. What? Yeah, but what? My breath is also always coming the same. Breath after breath. It's always the same. It's boring. But it has to be boring because everything that is repetitive is the law of evolution. It comes always the same till you die, till something else comes up.
Jonathan,
yes.
Before we start reading the manifesto, I have a couple questions. One is about your symbols and your signs in the work. Can you talk a little bit about that? I think it has to do with repetitiveness also when eliminating the meaning of things. How is that done?
No object in this world is bad. No symbol is bad. To deal with it can be bad. Yeah? But every symbol in the world has the chance and has to have the chance to free itself from our shitty ideologies. A Hakenkreuz is not a bad sign. Sorry, I'm not a voodoo priest. And also the gesture, this Hitler salute, is not a bad gesture. Sorry to say, I'm not a voodoo priest. Yeah, and if somebody cannot see this or cannot deal with this, it's fine. But you cannot make a law out of this. You cannot forbid Richard Wagner per law. It's impossible. It is impossible. It's against art. If you personally say you cannot listen to Richard Wagner, that's totally fine. I can also say I don't like Coca-Cola. Yeah? You could force people to drink as much Coca-Cola so that they die. Is then Coca-Cola bad? It really makes me sad, this thing. And we have to give the symbols a chance to disappear into their own neutrality. That is art. Give everything a chance sich zu entideologisieren. Give them the chance to say no to ideology.
Jonathan.
Yes. I also mean it in a humoristic way, of course, yeah? Because when I go home, I just play again. I'm also not angry about this. Of course, what I do is always the same. But we also go to the toilet every day. We also eat every day. We also sleep every day. What is boring about it? It's just the circle of life. It's what happens to us. We always want to do extreme sport. We always want to challenge. We always want to be Icarus. We always want to fly to the sun. Let art fly to the sun. Let art live on the moon. That's much more humble. Why should we conquer the universe? We did it already 1 million years ago. We already went to the moon, Jules Verne. This all happened. We are so crazy. We want to be quicker than, we have Olympiade. We have this 100-meter run. Yeah, but the shark is quicker than me. Yeah, why is the shark not having the gold medal? Yeah, why? Why do we do this shit? I hate sports. I hate it. I hate Olympiade. Go away. Don't bother me with your shit. I don't like people who can do 100-meter in 9.8 seconds. I think it's so boring because the sun is quicker, the sunlight. Yeah, and that's the master. Yeah, the beam of light and life. They are quicker. We always measure us. We always think we are the measurement of art, of everything. No, the camera is more important than me at the moment. You will see it in the end. The objects are more important. Why not? I'm not important enough to be loved by God. Yeah? I don't have any personal connection to God. I don't want it because I'm not meant. I don't want to be meant. I want to be left alone. I want to be distanced. I want to have a distance. I am always at the same distance to art. I cannot conquer art. I cannot make art nice to me. I cannot force art to happen. I just can be a servant of art and do and follow the rules of art, but that doesn't mean that I produce art. I cannot force art to mich belohnen, to give me a present. I cannot force art. That is important for art students. I cannot force art to give me power, because there is no personal connection to art possible. I will always be on a distance. I always have to live in a bunker. Yeah, I can be friendly to other people, but I cannot help in art. I cannot help other artists. I can be friendly. I can wish good luck. That's all. Yeah, that's why I'm not an art professor, because I cannot say this is super. I don't know it. I just don't know it. I'm not a judge. I'm not the guy who says you are right, you are wrong. It's not impossible for me. Just say, go on, go on. What I can say is, in fact, you are too ideological to serve art. But even if you are too ideological to serve art, art can play with you. Because when you are sleeping, you are doing art. When you're on the toilet, you are doing art all the time. Because the Digestion is stronger than your ideology. If you have to piss, you have to piss. Yeah, God will not help you. It's a body function that releases what is necessary to go. Yeah, art is it's a pressure system. One pressure goes down, the other goes up. That's metabolism. Yeah.
I want to discuss something. I mean, one of the reasons I personally invited you here is because I'm very interested in your take on, you know, second generation to World War II. So, you never talk about this directly, I think. I don't know how much you talk about this directly, but is this a way to deal with this horror or whatever experiences you have heard from your mother or their surroundings?
Art is in fact the only thing, the only leader that can deal with horror, because art puts horror where it should be, into anti-reality. And only art can solve all these horror problems. And I am so horrified, and I'm so, after 1945, ideologies are still possible. This is for me absolutely not understandable. This is for me totally crazy that still people vote their killers. That people still in this world vote their own murderers. This is crazy for me. That people still vote political parties. Maybe these people in the beginning are friends of yours. They come in the mask of your friend. But in the end, ideology kills everything. Even the ideology you think is good in the beginning, it will end up in war and horror, and in real horror. That is the construction of ideology. Every ideology is wrong. The left wing, the right wing, the Hindu, the German, the American, the African, every ideological construction leads to terror, hate, killing, and everything. And after 1945, that the people didn't understand that. It's so crazy, and it's not my business, because I am against all this. I have a pure heart in this. I am against all this. I am not in this trap that I believe in any ideology or that I follow any ideology. I told you about this knocking on my head. In every second of my life, the ideology comes and wants to get me. But I say no. I am protected by my babyism, by my animalism, by my metabolism. But many of you are not protected. Many of you already are totally brainwashed by democracy mostly. Yeah? You have this idea, wow, democracy will solve all problems. But you are in a total trap, because democracy is the worst of all ideologies at this time. We don't talk about the past. We talk about now. Now, what is the worst ideology in the whole world? It is the world sect, the world ideology of democracy that wants to go everywhere. We want to democratize animals. We want to put democracy into objects. We want to put democracy into the heads of animals. We want to tell sharks to be democratic. We are so crazy. We are so brainwashed. No ideology is good. And especially you as an artist have to be against the strongest ideology. Yeah? And for me, every Muslim country is democratic. For me, North Korea is totally democratic. For me, Israel is totally democratic. For me, Germany is totally democratic. For me, America is totally democratic. I don't know any country in this world that is not democratic. They are all totally democratic. And these hair-splitting differences between them, this is all wrong. They are all on the wrong track, because they don't serve art. And they don't see that art is the solution. And art is not votable. You cannot elect art. I cannot go out and scream, I want art. I just have to obey art. Finished. I obey it. What I'm doing doing is obeying. I'm not questionizing art. I'm not questionizing Richard Wagner. That is not my business. I have to do my duty. I have to do Parsifal. I have to do what is necessary. I do the necessary things. That's why I'm here. I'm doing my necessary duty. I love to do it. I think I'm super now. I'm now in the state of how it should be. Now the art is here. It doesn't go through my body because it's not transcendental, this shitty word. It is not going through my body. I just say art, fuck off. Take me as a mirror. Yeah, I am a mirror of art. It doesn't go into my body. It doesn't influence me. It doesn't have any connection to my brain. It only is a body function. That is art. Body function. Not brainwashing, ideology, consciousness. That is never art. The adult consciousness that is ideological is against art. That's the biggest enemy. You have to be sweet to your enemy. You have to say, go home, enemy. Go where you belong to. In museums, you are good. Yeah, that's with all gods. All gods will end up in museum. The Egyptian god is already in the museum. The Vatican is already a museum. Everything will be a museum. Jerusalem is a museum. This country is a museum. Germany is a museum. America is a museum. And that is good because it's then these places start to be the real centers of art. And that is what has to happen. These places of art have to grow and grow and grow. And then everything will be so super. Here we are all so protected. That is so lovely. And I love it. Yeah, because we are now here in a room of art. Only art rules here. No personal thinking, no ideology. When you enter this building, art takes over. And this can happen in the street as well.
Why not in the street?
The street is full of street fighting. In German, you say Straßenkampf. Straßenkampf, street fighting, is never art. The clash of cultures is never art. Cultural fighting is never art. We always want to fight with culture against other cultures. Yeah? But all cultures that are high will drop very quickly. Hochkulturen, you say in Germany, they all die very quickly because they are on the peak of hybris. They are on the peak of self-destruction. And I am not cynical enough to be a self-destructor. I don't like it because it's bad against your children, it's bad against the next generation. I am not allowed to be self-destructive. This is too cynical. I have to say yes to the leadership of art. And then it will happen. And then the ideology will disappear. Yeah? And for what you said, the war, First World War, Second World War. Do we need a Third World War to understand that ideology is shit? How cynical, how cynical. There are millions of people who want the Third World War. Millions. Yeah, but not me. Or on stage. Yeah, in a film it's super. I like to love to watch catastrophe films and science fiction. Because then I feel so secure. And I always think, wow, that's the duty of art. Yeah? That's why I love horror films. I collect everything that is radical. Pornography, I collect like crazy. Because it's so precise. The language is clear. Achtung, kneel down, do this, do that. Yeah? And in pornography, it's not meant ideologically. It's meant metabolistically. Yeah? This is so wonderful. Or the language of doctors. I like that. Spritze, put the blood out, immunization, und so weiter. Or the military language. I love the military language. Yeah, because it's quick and dirty, clear and precise. So, I read a manifest.
Awesome.
But you can ask, because it's also totally okay for me if you just go, you know, wherever you want to. I'm not offended, you know. I just love to be here. I think it's super. Here, this is one-page manifest. I wrote it 2 hours ago. No, 3. Art is total love, art is total power, Tel Aviv Manifest, 20th of January 2013. Art is no ideology, art is Dr. No Ideology. Art is not ideological, art is no ideology, art is totally neutral. First, art says no to all ideologies. No, no, no. Second, art knows no ideology. Art refuses all ideologies. 3, art condemns all ideologies. Art is total evolution. 4, art denies all ideologies. Art is total metabolism. 5, art negates all ideologies. Art destroys all ideology. 6, art overcomes all ideology. Art is total hermetic. 7, artists and all creatures should fight against all ideologies. All ideologies are useless and only lead to dead ends. Art is total game without ideology. 8, every ideology is an enemy of the future. All ideologies create a dangerous climate of fear. 9, all ideologies are against art. To be ideological is no solution for any problem. In the end, all ideologies lead to war, self-destruction and cruelty, because all ideological people believe that they are better than others and know better than others. Art says no to all ideological systems. No, no, no. 10, ideologies do not exist for animals, babies, children and objects. Animals, babies, children and objects don't need ideologies for their existence. Sadly enough, ideologies depend on people who vote and elect. 11, art is no election. Nobody can vote art or elect art. 12, art is no ideology. Art is anti-ideological leadership. Nature knows no ideology. The leadership of art needs no ideology. Art is Dr. No Ideology. Tel Aviv, art is total love, art is total power, Manifest 20 January 2013. I can do more. Is it okay? Oh,
Please go ahead.
No, you can ask. I mean, now I have to.
I just want to know why Dr. No.
Dr. No is super because Dr. No says no. Yeah, that's all. He says no, he only loves art. He plays in a film and he is total art. Yeah, he's like Goldfinger. These criminals are played, you know, by actors. This is super, we need them. Yeah, to put everything bad into them, to project. This is very important. Yeah, and?
Go ahead.
It's too dark.